Welcome to the movie script reading for Fargo from 1996. And yes, you heard me correctly. I will be reading the script or the screenplay from the 1996 thriller film Fargo, written and produced and directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. If you want to watch Fargo the movie, you'll have to rent it or buy it, of course. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit the bell to get notifications. Leave a comment below if you have an idea for a movie reading for me to do on this channel, and I'll try to get to it as quick as I can. Fargo, a screenplay by Ethan Coen and Joel Coen. The following text fades in over black. This is a true story. The events depicted in this film took place in Minnesota in 1987. At the request of the survivors, the names have been changed. Out of respect for the dead, the rest have been told exactly as it occurred. Flare to white. Fade in from white. Slowly the white becomes a barely perceptible image. White particles wave over a white background. A snowfall. A car bursts through the curtain of snow. The car is equipped with a hitch and is towing another car, a brand new light brown Cutlass Sierra, with the pink sales sticker showing in its rear window. As the car roars past, leaving snow swirling in their drift, the title of the film fades in. Fargo. Green highway signs point the way to Moorhead, Minnesota, Fargo, North Dakota. The roads for the two cities diverge. A sign says, "Welcome to North Dakota," and another just after says, "Now entering Fargo, ND. Population, 44,412. The car pulls into a roadway inn. A man in his early 40s in a hotel lobby, balding and starting to paunch, goes to the reception desk. The clerk is an older woman. "And how are you today, sir?" "Real good. I'm checking in Mr. Anderson." The man prints Jerry Lundega onto a registration card, then hastily crosses out the last name and starts to print Anderson. As she types into a computer, "Okay, Mr. Anderson, and you're still planning on staying with us just the night then?" "You bet." The man turns on the TV in the hotel room, which shows the local evening news. Whether they will go to summer camp at all. Katie Jensen has more. It was supposed to be a project funded by the city council. It was supposed to be a project funded by the city council. It was supposed to benefit those Fargo Moorhead children who would otherwise not be able to afford to attend a lakeshore summer camp, but nobody consulted City Controller Stu Jacobson. Anderson sits alone at a table finishing dinner in a chain restaurant. Muzak plays. A middle-aged waitress approaches holding a pot of regular coffee in one hand and decaf in the other. "Can I warm that up for you there?" "You bet." The man looks at his watch. Through a windshield, we are pulling into the snow-swept parking lot of a one-story brick building. Broken neon at the top of the building identifies it as the Jolly Troll Tavern. A troll, also in neon, holds a champagne glass aloft. The bar is downscale inside, even for this town. Country music plays on the jukebox. Two men are seated in a booth at the back. One is short, slight, youngish. The other man is older, dour. The table in front of them is littered with empty long-neck beer bottles. The ashtray is full. Anderson approaches. "I'm, Jerry Lundegard." "You're Jerry Lundegard." Yeah. Shep Proudfoot said..." "Shep said you'd be here at 7:30. What gives, man?" "Shep said 8:30. We've been waiting here an hour. I've peed 3 times already." "I'm sure sorry. Shep told me 8:30. It was a mix-up, I guess." "You got the car?" "Yeah, you bet. It's in the lot there. Brand new burnt umber Sierra." "Yeah, okay. Well, sit down then. I'm Carl Showalter, and this is my associate, Gare Grimsrud. Yeah, how you doing? So, we all set in this thing, then? Sure, Jerry, we're all set. Why wouldn't we be? Yeah, I'm sure you are. Shep vouched for you and all. I got every confidence in you fellas. They stare at him. An awkward beat. So, I guess that's it, then. Here are the keys. No, that's not it, Jerry. Huh? The new vehicle plus $40,000. Yeah, but the deal was the car first, see, and then the $40,000 like as if it was the ransom. I thought Shep told you. Shep didn't tell us much, Jerry. Well, okay, except that you were going to be here at 7:30. Yeah, well, that was a mix-up then. Yeah, you already said that. Yeah, it's not whole pay in advance deal. I gave you a brand new vehicle in advance, and I'm not going to debate you, Jerry. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and debate. I will say this, though. What Shep told us didn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, no, it's real sound. It'll all work out. You want your wife kidnapped. Yeah. Carl stares. Jerry looks blankly back. My point is, you pay the ransom, what, $80,000? I mean, you give us half the ransom, $40,000. You keep half. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. It doesn't make any... Okay, it's not me paying the ransom. The thing is, my wife, she's wealthy. Her dad, he's really well off. And now I'm in a bit of trouble. What kind of trouble are you in, Jerry? Well, that I'm not going to go into, you see, I just need the money. Now, her dad's real wealthy. So why don't you just ask him for the money? Grimsrud, the dour man who has not yet spoken, now softly puts in with a Swedish accented voice. Or your fucking wife, you know. Or your fucking wife, Jerry. Well, you see, they don't know that I need it, okay? So there's that, and even if they did, I wouldn't get it. So there's that on top then, you see, they're personal matters. Personal matters. Yeah, personal matters that needn't, Okay, Jerry, you're tasking us to perform this mission, but you won't, fuck it, let's look at the Sierra. Minneapolis suburban house. Jerry enters through the kitchen door in a parka and a red plaid Elmer Fudd hat. He stamps snow off his feet. He is carrying a bag of groceries which he deposits on a kitchen counter. Hon, I got the groceries. Aw, thank you, hon. How's Fargo? Yeah, real good. Dad's here. Jerry enters the den, pulling off his plaid cap. How you doing, Wade? Wade Gustafson, his mid-60s-ish, vigorous, with a full head of gray hair. His eyes remain fixed on the TV. Yeah, pretty good. What you watching there? North Stars. Who they playing? Oh! His reaction synchronizes with a reaction from the crowd. Jerry walks back in the kitchen, taking off his coat. His wife is putting on an apron. Jerry nods towards the living room. Is he staying for supper then? Yeah, I think so. Dad, are you staying for supper? Yeah. Jerry, his wife Wade, and Scotty, 12 years old, sit eating. May I be excused? Sure, you done there? Uh-huh, I'm going out. Where are you going? Just out, just McDonald's. Back at 9:30. Okay. He just ate, and he didn't finish. He's going to McDonald's instead of finishing here? He sees his friends there. It's okay. It's okay. McDonald's? What do you think they do there? They don't drink milkshakes, I assure you. It's okay, Dad. Wade, have you had a chance to think about that deal I was talking about? Those 40 acres there on Wayzata? You told me about it. Yeah, you said you'd have to think about it. I understand it's a lot of money. A heck of a lot. What did you say you were going to put there? A lot. It's a limited. I know it's a lot. I mean a parking lot. Yeah, well, $750,000 is a lot. Yeah, well, it's a chunk, but... I thought you were going to show it to Stan Grossman. He passes on this stuff before it gets kicked up to me. Well, you know, Stan'll say no dice, that's why you pay him. I'm asking you here, Wade. This could really work out for me and Jean and Scotty. Jean and Scotty never have to worry. A black line curls through a white background. Twisting perspective shows that it's an aerial shot of a 2-lane highway bordered by snowfields. The highway carries one moving car. Carl Showalter is driving. Geir Grimsrud stares blankly out. After a long beat. Where is Pancake's house? What? We stop at Pancake's house. What are you, nuts? We had pancakes for breakfast. I gotta go somewhere I can get a shot and beer. And steak, maybe. No more fucking pancakes. Come on. Grimsrud gives him a sour look. Come on, man. Okay, here's an idea. We stop outside of Brainerd. I know a place where we can get laid. What do you think? I'm fucking hungry, you know. Yeah, Jesus. I'm saying we stop for pancakes and then we get laid. What do you think? Jerry is sitting in his glassed-in salesman cubicle just off the showroom floor. On the other side of his desk sits an irate customer and his wife. We sat here right in this room and went over this and over this. Yeah, but that's a true coat. I sat right here and said I didn't want no true coat. Yeah, but I'm saying that true coat, you don't get it and you get oxidation problems. It will cost you a heck of a lot more than $500. You're sitting here, you're talking in circles, you're talking like we didn't already go over this. Yeah, but this true coat, we had us a deal here for $19,500. You sat there and darned if you didn't tell me you'd get this car. These options, without the sealant, for $19,500. Okay, I'm not saying I didn't. You called me 20 minutes ago and said you had it. Ready to make delivery, you says. Come on down and get it. And here you are, and you're wasting my time, and you're wasting my wife's time, and I'm paying $19,500 for this vehicle here. Okay, I'll talk to my boss. He rises, and as he leaves, see, they install the true coat at the factory. There's nothing we can do, but I'll talk to my boss. The couple watch him go to a nearby cubicle. These guys here, it's always the same. It's always more. He's a liar. Please, dear. He went over this and over this. Jerry sits perched on the desk of another salesman who is eating lunch as he watches a hockey game on a small portable TV. So you're going to the Gophers on Sunday? You bet. You wouldn't have an extra ticket there. They're playing the Buckeyes. Yeah. You kidding? Jerry's cubicle. Well, he's never done this before, but seeing as it's a special circumstance and all, he says I can knock off $100 for that true coat. $100? You lied to me, Mr. Lundegaard. You're a bald-faced liar. Jerry sits staring at his lap. You fucking liar. Bucky, please. Jerry mumbles into his lap. 100's the best we can do here. Oh, for Christ's sake, where's my goddamn checkbook? Let's get this over with. There's a restaurant with many big rigs parked nearby a truck stop, and a motel with an outsized Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox flanking its sign. Blue Ox Motel. Carl Showalter and Geir Grimsrud are in the twin beds having sex with two truck stop hookers. Oh, Jesus, yeah. There you go, sugar. Yeah, oh yeah. Later, the couples lie in their respective beds, gazing at the off-screen TV. Johnny's guests tonight will be Lee Majors, George Wendt, and Steve Betskaros from San Diego Zoo. So keep that dial. We hear a morning show on the Lundegaard kitchen television. Jean Lundegaard is making coffee in the kitchen as Scott eats cereal at the table. I'm talking about your potential. Uh-huh. You're not a C student. And yet you're getting C grades. It's this disparity there that concerns your dad and me. Uh-huh. Do you know what a disparity is? Yeah. Okay, well, that's why we don't want you going out for hockey. Aw, man. The phone rings. What's the big deal? It's an hour. Hold on. She picks up the phone. Hello?
Hiya, hun.
Oh, hiya, Dad.
Jerry around?
Yeah, he's still here. I'll catch him for you. She holds the phone away and calls. Hon? Yeah? It's Dad? Yeah. Jerry enters in shirt sleeves and tie. Yeah, okay. Look, Dad, there's no fucking way. Scott! Say, let's watch the language. He takes the phone. How you doing, Wade? What's going on there? Ah, nothing, Wade. How you doing there? Stan Grossman looked at your proposal. Says it looks pretty sweet. No kiddin'. We might be interested. No kiddin'. I'd need the cash pretty quick there in order to close the deal. Come by at 2:30 and we'll talk about it, if your numbers are right. Stan says it's pretty sweet. Stan Grossman. Yeah, 2:30. Click. Dial tone. Yeah, okay. Jerry wanders through the service area where cars are being worked on. He stops by an Indian in blue jeans who is looking at the underside of a car that sits on a hydraulic lift with a cage light hanging off its innards. Say, Shep, how you doing there? Say, you know those two fellas that you put me in touch with up there in Fargo? Put you in touch with Grimsrud. Yeah, but he had a buddy there. See, well, I don't vouch for him. Well, that's okay. I vouch for Grimsrud. Who's his buddy? Carl something? Never heard of him. Don't vouch for him. Yeah, well, that's okay. He's a buddy of the guy you vouched for, so I'm not worrying. I was wondering, see, I gotta get in touch with him. I might not need it anymore. Something's happening, see? Call him up. Yeah, see, well, I did that, and I haven't been able to get him, and so I thought maybe you'd know an alternate number or what have you. Nope. Jerry slaps his fist into his open palm and snaps his fingers. Okay, well, real good then. Carl is driving. Grimsrud stares out front. After a beat. Look at that, Twin Cities, IDS building, the big glass one, tallest skyscraper in the Midwest. After the Sears, Chicago. You ever been to Minneapolis? No. Would it kill you to say something? I did. No. First thing you've said in the last 4 hours. That's a fountain of conversation, man. That's a geyser. I mean, whoa, daddy. Stand back, man. Shit, I'm sitting here driving, man, doing all the driving, whole fucking way from Brainerd, driving, trying to keep our spirits up and fight the boredom of the road, and you can't say one fucking thing just in the way of conversation? Grimsrud smokes, gazing out the window. Well, fuck it. I don't have to talk either, man. See how you like it. He drives. Total silence. Jerry is on the phone in his cubicle. Oh yeah, real good. How you doing? Pretty good, Mr. Lundegard. You're damned hard to get on the phone. Yeah, it's pretty darn busy here, but that's the way we like it. That's for sure. Now, I just need on these financing documents you sent us. I can't read the serial numbers of the vehicles on here, so yeah, I already got the, it's okay, the loans are in place. I already got the $320,000. You got the money last month. Yeah, so we're all set. Yeah, but the vehicles you were borrowing on, I can't read the serial numbers on your application. Maybe if you could just read them to me. But the deal's already done. I already got the money. Yeah, but we have an audit here. I just have to know that these vehicles you're financing with this money, that they really exist. Yeah, well, they exist all right. I'm sure they do. But I can't read their serial numbers here, so if you could read me... Well, but you see, I don't have them in front of me. Why don't I just fax you over a copy? No, fax is no good. That's what I have, and I can't read the darn thing. Yeah, okay, I'll have my girl send you over a copy then. Okay, because if I can't correlate this note with the specific vehicles, then I gotta call me back that money. Yeah, how much money was that? $320,000. See, I gotta correlate that money with the cars it's being lent on. Yeah, no problem. I'll just fax that over to you then. No, fax is... send it over. I'll shoot it right over to you. Okay, real good then. We close on a television. A morning show host in an apron stands behind a counter on a kitchen set. So I separate How the heck do I get the egg out of the shell without breaking it? Jean Lundegard is curled up on the couch with a cup of coffee watching the television. You just prick a little hole in the end and blow. Jean smiles as we hear laughter and applause from the studio audience. She hears something else, a faint scraping sound, and looks up. Okay, here goes nothing. The scraping sound persists. Jean sets down her coffee cup and rises. From the studio audience, woo! We track through the back door through the kitchen. A curtain is stretched tight across its window. Jean pulls the curtain back. Bright sunlight amplified by snow floods in. A man in an orange ski mask looks up from the lock. Jean gasps, drops the curtain, runs into a taller man also in a ski mask already in the house. We hear the crack of the back door window being smashed. The tall man, Geir Grimsrud, grabs Jean's wrist. She screams, staring at her own imprisoned wrist, then wraps her mouth around Grimsrud's gloved thumb and bites down hard. He drops her wrist. As Carl enters, she races up the stairs.
Ingol.
Grimrud looks at his thumb.
I need Ungra.
As the two men enter, a door at the far side is slamming shut. A cord snakes in under the door. Jean, sobbing, frantically pushes at buttons on the princess phone. The phone pops out of her hands, jangles across the tile floor, smashes against the door, and then bounces away, its cord ripped free. With a groaning sound, the door shifts in its frame. Grimsrud has a crowbar jammed in between the bathroom door and frame and is working on it. Jean crosses to a high window above the toilet and throws it open. Snow that had drifted against the window sifts slightly in. Jean steps up onto the toilet. The door creaks, moving as one piece in its frame. Jean glances back as she steps up from the toilet seat to the tank. The groaning of the door ends with the wood around its knob splintering and the knob itself falling out onto the floor. The door swings open. Grimsrud and Carl enter. The room is empty, the window open. Carl strides to the window and hoists himself out. Grimsrud opens the medical cabinet and delicately taps aside various bottles and tubes, seeking the proper unguent. He finds a salve, but after a moment sets it down, noticing something in the mirror. The shower curtain is drawn around the tub. He steps towards it. As he reaches for the curtain, it explodes outward, animated by thrashing limbs. Jean, screaming, tangled in the curtain, rips it off its rings and stumbles out into the bedroom. Grimsrud follows. Jean rushes towards the door, cloaked by the shower curtain, but awkwardly trying to push it off. Still thrashing, Jean crashes into the upstairs railing, trips on the curtain, and falls, thumping crazily down the stairs. Grimsrud trods down after her. A plaque. Wade Gustafson, Incorporated. Wade sits behind his desk. Another man rises as Jerry enters. How you doing there, Stan? How are you, Wade? Stan Grossman shakes his hand. Good to see you again, Jerry. If these numbers are right, this looks pretty sweet. Oh, those numbers are all right, believe me. This is doable. Congratulations, Jerry. Yeah, thanks, Stan. It's pretty... What kind of finder's fee were you looking for? Huh? The financials are pretty thorough, so the only thing we don't know is your fee. My fee? Wade, what the heck you talking about? Stan and I are okay. Yeah. We're good to loan in. Yeah. But we never talked about your fee for bringing it to us. No, but Wade, see, I was bringing you this deal for you to loan me the money and put it in. It's my deal here, see? Wade scowls and looks at Stan. Jerry, we thought you were bringing us an investment. Yeah, right. You're saying, what are you saying? You're saying that we put in all the money and you collect when it pays off. No, I'd pay you back the principal and the interest. Heck, I'd go 1 over prime. We're not a bank, Jerry. Wade is angry. What the heck, Jerry? If I wanted bank interest on $750,000, I'd go to Midwest Federal. Talk to Bill Deal. He's at North Star. He's at... No, see, I don't need a finder's fee. A finder's fee is what, 10%? I need the principal. Heck, that's not going to work for me. Stan, we're not just going to go give you $750,000. What the heck were you thinking? Heck, if I'm only getting bank interest, I'd look for complete security. Heck, FDIC, I don't see nothing like that here. Yeah, okay, but I would guarantee you your money back. I'm not talking about your word, Jerry. Geez, what the heck are you... Well, look, I don't want to cut you out of the loop, but this here is a good deal. I assume if you're not uninterested, you won't mind if we move on it independently. We are high and wide on the office building's parking lot. Jerry emerges wrapped in a parka, his arms sticking stiffly out at his sides, his breath vaporizing. He goes to his car, opens its front door, pulls out a red plastic scraper and starts methodically scraping off the thin crust of ice that has developed on his windshield. The scraping sound carries into the frigid air. Jerry goes into a frenzy, banging the scraper against the windshield in the hood of his car. The tantrum passes. Jerry stands panting, staring at nothing in particular. Scrape, scrape, scrape. He goes back to work on the windshield. The front door. A beat, silent but for a key scraping at the lock. The door swings open and Jerry edges in, looking about, holding a sack of groceries. "Hon?" He opens the door. "Got the groceries?" He has already seen the shower curtain on the floor. He frowns, pokes at it with his foot. "Hon?" Upstairs bathroom. Jerry walks in. He sets the groceries down on the toilet tank. He looks at the open window, through which snow still sifts in. He shuts it. He picks up the small tube of unguent that sits on the sink, frowns at it, then puts it back in the medicine chest. He looks at the shower curtain rod holding empty rings. Once again in the foyer, we are looking at the rumpled shower curtain. From another room, "Yeah, Wade, it's Jerry. Then slightly more agitated, "Yeah, Wade, it's Jerry." "Wade, it's Jerry! We gotta talk, Wade, it's terrible." Jerry stands in a wide shot, hands on hips, looking down at the telephone. After a motionless beat, he picks up the phone and punches in the number. "Yeah, Wade Gustafson, please." Black. A slow tilt down from the night sky brings the head of a large papier-mâché figure into frame. It is a flannel shirt woodsman carrying a double-edged axe over one shoulder. As we hear the rumble of an approaching car, the continuing tilt and boom down brings us down the woodsman's body to a pedestal. A sweep of headlights illuminates a sign on the pedestal. "Welcome to Brainerd, home of Paul Bunyan." The headlights sweep off and a car hums past and onto a background. The 2-lane highway is otherwise empty. Carl drives. Grimsrud smokes and gazes out the window. From the back seat we hear whimpering. Grimsrud turns to look. Jean lies bound and curled in the back seat underneath a tarpaulin.
"Shut the fuck up or I'll throw you back in the trunk, you know."
"Geez, that's more than I've heard you say all week." Grimsrud stares at him, then turns back to the window. At a loud whoop, Carl starts and looks back out the rear window. 50 yards behind, a state trooper has turned on his gumballs. Carl eases the car onto the shoulder. "Ah, shit, the tags." Grimsrud looks at him. "It's just the tags. I never put my tags on the car. Don't worry, I'll take care of this." He looks into the back seat as the car bounces and slows on the gravel shoulder. "Let's keep still back there, lady, or we're gonna have to, shoot ya." Grimsrud stares at Carl. "Hey, I'll take care of this." Both cars have stopped. Carl looks up at the rearview mirror. The trooper is stopped on the shoulder just behind them, writing in his citation book. Carl watches. We hear the trooper's door open. The trooper walks up the shoulder, one hand resting lightly on top of his holster, his breath steaming in the cold night air. Carl opens his window as the trooper draws up. "How can I help you, officer?" The trooper scans the inside of the car, taking his time. Grimsrud smokes and gazes calmly out of his window. Finally, "This is a new car then, sir?" "It certainly is, officer. Still got that smell." You're required to display temporary tags, either in the plate area or taped inside the back window. Certainly. Can I see your license and registration, please? Certainly. He reaches for his wallet. I was going to tape up the temporary tag, to be in full compliance, but must have slipped my mind. He extends his wallet towards the trooper, a folded $50 bill protruding from it. So maybe the best thing would be to take care of that right here in Brainerd. What's this, sir? That's my license and registration. I want to be in compliance. He forces a laugh. I was just thinking I could take care of it right here in Brainerd. The policeman thoughtfully pats the 50 into the billfold and hands the billfold back into the car. Put that back in your pocket, please. Carl's nervous smile fades. Step out of the car, please, sir. Grimsrud, smiling thinly, shakes his head. There's a whimpering sound. The policeman hesitates. Another sound. The policeman leans forward into the car, listening. Grimsrud reaches across Carl, grabs the trooper by the hair, and slams his head down onto the car door. The policeman grunts, digs awkwardly for footing outside, and throws an arm for balance against the outside of the car. With his free hand, Grimsrud pops the glove compartment. He brings a gun out and reaches across Carl and shoots, bang, into the back of the trooper's head. Jean screams, "Shut up!" He releases the policeman. The policeman's head slides out the window and his body flops back onto the street. Carl looks out at the cop on the road. Whoa, Daddy. Grimsrud takes the trooper's hat off of Carl's lap and sails it out of the open window.
You'll take care of it. Boy, you're smooth,
Whoa, Daddy. Jean, for some reason, screams again and then stops.
Clear him off the road.
Yeah. He gets out. Carl leans down to hoist up the body. Headlights appear, an oncoming car. Grimsrud notices. The car approaches, slowing. Carl, with the trooper's body hoisted halfway up, is frozen in the headlights. The car accelerates and roars past and away. We just make out the silhouettes of two occupants in front. Grimsrud slides into the driver's seat. He squeals into a U-turn, the driver's door slamming shut with his spin. Small red tail lights fishtail up ahead. The pursued car churns up fine snow. Grimsrud takes the cigarette from his mouth and stubs it in his ashtray. We hear the churning of the car wheels and the pinging of snow clods and salt on the car's underside. In the back seat, Jean starts screaming. Grimsrud is not gaining on the taillights. He fights with the wheel as his car swims on the road face. The red taillight ahead starts to turn with a distant crunching sound and disappears. The headlight now only shows an empty road, starting to turn. Grimsrud frowns and slows. His headlights show the car up ahead off the road, crumpled around a telephone pole, having failed to hold a turn. Grimsrud brakes. Jean slides off the back seat and thumps into the leg well. Grimsrud sweeps his gun off the front seat, throws open his door, and gets out. The wrecked car's headlights shine off into a snowfield abutting the highway. A young man in a down parka is limping across the snowfield away from the wrecked car. Grimsrud strides calmly out after the injured boy. He raises his gun and fires. With a poof of feathers, a hole opens in the boy's back and he pitches into the snow. Grimsrud walks up to the wreck and peers in its half-opened door. A young woman is trapped inside the twisted wreckage, injured. Snow swirls in the headlights of the wreck. Grimsrud raises his gun and fires. We transition to an oil painting. A blue-winged teal in flight over a swampy marshland. The room in which it hangs is dark. We hear off-screen snoring. We track off to reveal an easel upon which we see a half-completed oil of a gray mallard. The continuing track reveals a couple in bed, sleeping. The man, 40-ish, pajama-clad, is big and big-bellied. His mouth is agape. He snores. His arms are flung over a woman in her 30s, wearing a nightie, mouth also open, not snoring. We hold for a long beat on their regular breathing and snoring. The phone rings. The woman stirs. Oh, geez. She reaches for the phone. Hi, it's Marge. The man stirs and clears his throat with a long, deep rumble. Oh my. Where? Yeah? Oh, geez. The man sits up, gazes stupidly about. Okay, there in a jiff. Real good then. She hangs up. You can sleep, hon. It's early yet. Gotta go? Yeah. The man swings his legs out. I'll fix you some eggs. That's okay, hun. I gotta run. Gotta eat a breakfast, Marge. I'll fix you some eggs. Aw, you can sleep, hun. You gotta eat breakfast. He clears his throat with another deep rumble. I'll fix you some eggs. Aw, Norm. Leavings of a huge plate of eggs, ham, and toast. Wider, we see Marge now wearing a beige police uniform. A patch on one arm says Brainerd Police Department. She wears a heavy belt holding a revolver, walkie-talkie, and various other jangling police impedimenta. Norm is in a dressing gown. Thanks, hon. Time to shove off. Love ya, Margie. As she struggles into a parka. Love ya, hon. He is exiting back to the bedroom. She exits out the front door. Marge is making her way down the icy front stoop to her prowler. Norm sits back onto bed, shrugging off his robe. Off screen, we hear the front door open. Marge stamps the snow off her shoes. Hon? Yeah? Prowler needs a jump. 2 police cars and an ambulance sit idling at the side of a highway, a pair of men inside each car. The first car's driver door opens and a figure in a parka emerges, holding 2 styrofoam cups. His partner leans across the seat to close the door after him. The reverse shows Marge approaching from her own squad car. Hiya, Lou. Margie? Thought you might need a little warm-up. He hands her one of the cups of coffee. Yeah, thanks a bunch. So what's the deal now? Gary says triple homicide? Yeah, looks pretty bad. 2 of them are over here. Marge looks around as they start walking. Where is everybody? Well, it's cold, Margie. Laid out in the early morning light is the wrecked car. A pair of footprints leading out to a man in a bright orange parka, face down in the blood-stained snow, and 1 pair of footsteps leading back to the road. Marge is peering into the car. Ah, geez. Geez, there's the second one. It's in the head, and the hand there, I guess that's a defensive wound. Okay. Marge looks up from the car. Where's the state trooper? Lou, up on the shoulder, jerks his thumb. Back there a good piece, in the ditch next to his prowler. Marge looks around at the road. Okay, so we got a state trooper pulls someone over. We got a shooting. And these folks drive by. We got a high-speed pursuit. It ends here. And this execution type deal. Yeah. I'd be very surprised if our suspect was from Brainerd. Yeah. Marge is studying the ground. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, from his footprints he looks like a big fella. Marge suddenly doubles over, putting her head between her knees down near the snow. You see something there, Chief? I think I'm gonna barf. Geez, you okay, Margie? I'm fine. It's just morning sickness. She gets up, sweeping snow from her knees. Well, that passed. Yeah? Yeah, now I'm hungry again. You had breakfast yet, Margie? Oh yeah, Norm made some eggs. Yeah? Well, what now do you think? Let's go take a look at the trooper. Marge's prowler is parked nearby the state trooper's car. Marge is on her hands and knees by a body down in the ditch, again looking at footprints in the snow. She calls up to the road. There's 2 of them, Lou. Yeah? Yeah, this guy's smaller than his buddy. Oh, yeah? In the foreground is the head of the state trooper, facing us. Peering at it from behind, still on her hands and knees, is Marge. For Pete's sake. She gets up, clapping the snow off her hands, and climbs out of the ditch. How's it look, Marge? Well, he's got a gun on his hip here. He looks like a nice enough guy. It's a real shame. Yeah. You haven't monkeyed with his car there, have you? No way. She is looking at the prowler, which still idles on the shoulder. Someone shut off his lights. I guess the little guy's sitting here waiting for his buddy to come back. Yeah, it would have been cold out here. Heck yeah. You think, is Dave open yet? You don't think he's mixed up in... No, I just want to get Norm some night crawlers. Marge is driving. Lou sits next to her. You look in his citation book? Yeah. He looks at his notebook. Last vehicle he rode in was a tan Sierra at 2:18 a.m. under the plate number he put DLR. I figure they stopped him or shot him before he could finish filling out the tag number. Uh-huh. So I got the state looking for a Sierra with the tag starting DLR. They don't got no match yet. I'm not sure I agree with you on 100% of your police work there, Lou. Yeah? Yeah, I think the vehicle there probably had dealer plates. DLR? Oh. Lou gazes out the window thinking. Jeez. Yeah, say, Lou, you hear about the one guy who couldn't afford personalized plates, so he went and changed hhis name to J2L4685? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. The police car enters with a whoosh and hums down a straight-ruled empty highway, cutting a landscape of flat and perfect white. Jerry Wade and Stan Grossman sit in a booth of Ember's Family Restaurant, sipping coffee. Outside the window, snow falls from a gunmetal sky. All I know is, you got a problem, you call a professional. No, they said no cops. They were darned clear on that, Wade. They said you call the cops and we... Well, of course they're gonna say that, but where's my protection? They got Jean here. I give these sons of bitches $1 million. Where's my guarantee they're gonna let her go? Well, $1 million is a lot of damn money, and there they are, they got my daughter. Yeah, but think this thing through here, Wade. You give them what they want, why wouldn't they let her go? You gotta listen to me on this one, Wade. Heck, you don't know. You're just whistling Dixie here. I'm saying the cops, they can advise us on this. I say call a professional. No cops. That's final. This is my deal here, Wade. Jean is my wife here. I gotta tell you, Wade, I'm leaning to Jerry's point of view here. Well, these guys, we're not holding any cards here, Wade. They got all of them. So they call the shots. You're darn tootin'. Ah, damn. I'm telling you. Well, why don't we... He saws a finger under his nose. Stan, I'm thinking we should offer him $500,000. Now come on here, Wade. No way. We're not horse trading here, Wade. We just gotta bite the bullet on this thing. Yeah. What's the next step here, Jerry? They're gonna call, give me instructions for a drop. I'm supposed to have the money ready tomorrow. Damn it. The cashier rings up $2.40. How was everything today? Yeah, real good now. Snow continues to fall. Jerry and Stan stand bundled in their parkas and galoshes near a row of beached vehicles. Wade sits behind the wheel of an idling Lincoln, waiting for Stan. Okay, we'll get the money together. Don't worry about it, Jerry. Now, do you want anyone at home with you until they call? No, they don't want to, they're supposed to be dealing with me. They were real clear. Yeah. Jerry pounds his mittened hands together against the cold. You know, they said no one listening in and they'll be watching, you know. Maybe it's all bull, but like you said, Stan, they're calling the shots. Okay, and Scotty? Is he gonna be all right? Yeah, geez, Scotty, I'll go talk to him. There's a tap at the horn from Wade, and Stan gets into the Lincoln. We'll call. The Lincoln spits snow out as it grinds out of the lot and fishtails out into the boulevard. Scotty's bedroom. Scotty lies on the bed weeping. Jerry enters and perches uncomfortably on the edge of his bed. How you doing there, Scotty? Dad, what are they doing? What do you think they're doing with Mom? It's okay, Scotty. They're not gonna hurt her or any of these men. They just want money, see? What if something goes wrong? No, nothing's going wrong here. Granddad and I, we're making sure this gets handled right. Scott snorfles and sits up. Dad, I really think we should call the cops. No, we can't tell anyone about this. We gotta play ball with these guys. You ask Stan Grossman, he'll tell you the same thing. Yeah, but we're gonna get Mom back for you. We're gonna play ball, that's the deal. Now if Lorraine calls or Sylvia, you just say that Mom is in Florida with Pearl and Marty. Scotty starts to weep again. Jerry stares down at his lap. That's the best we can do here. We cut to a cabin, lakeside, surrounded by white. A brown Sierra with dealer plates is pulling into the drive. Grimsrud climbs out of the passenger seat as Carl climbs out of the driver's. Grimsrud opens the back door and with an arm on her elbow helps Jean out. She has her hands tied behind her and a black hood over her head. With a cry, she swings her elbow out of Grimsrud's grasp and lurches away across the front lawn. Grimsrud moves to retrieve her, but Carl, grinning, lays a hand on his shoulder. Hold it. They both look out at the front lawn, Grimsrud expressionless, Carl smiling. With muffled cries, the hooded woman lurches across the unbroken snow, staggering this way and that, stumbling on the uneven terrain. She stops, stands still, her hooded head swaying. She lurches out in an arbitrary direction. Going downhill, she reels, staggers, and falls face first into the snow, weeping. Ha ha ha. Jesus. Grimsrud, still expressionless, breaks away from Carl's restraining hand to retrieve her. We track behind Marge in the Brainerd Police Headquarters as she makes her way across the floor, greeting various officers. She holds a small, half-full paper sack. Beyond her, we see a small glassed-in cubicle. Norm sits at the desk inside with a boxed lunch spread out in front of him. There's a lettering on the cubicle glass door. Brainerd, PD, Chief Gunderson. Marge enters and sits behind the desk, detaching her walkie-talkie from her utility belt to accommodate the seat. Hiya, hun. She slides the paper sack towards him. Brought you some lunch, Margie. What are those, night crawlers? He looks inside. The bottom of the sack is full of fat, crawling earthworms. Yeah. Thanks, hon. You bet. Thanks for lunch. What do we got here, Arby's? Uh-huh. She starts eating. How's the painting going? Pretty good. Found out that Hotmans are entering a painting this year. Aw, hon, you're better than them. They're really good. They're good, Norm, but you're better than them. Yeah, you think? He leans over and kisses her. Aw, you got Arby's all over me. Lou enters. Hi, Norm. How's the painting going? Not too bad, How we doing on that vehicle? No motels registered any tan Sierra last night, but the night before, 2 men checked into the Blue Ox, registering a Sierra and leaving the tag space blank. Geez, that's a good lead. The Blue Ox, that's the truckers' joint out there on I-35. Yeah. Owner was on the desk then. Says the 2 guys had company. Oh, yeah? Marge's Prowler is parked in an otherwise empty parking lot of a strip club. Snow drifts down. Marge sits talking with 2 young women at one end of an elevated dance platform inside the club. Not yet open for business, the club is deserted. Where are you girls from? Chaska. Le Sueur, but I went to high school in White Bear Lake. Okay, I want you to tell me what these fellas looked like. Well, the little guy, he was kind of funny looking. In what way? I don't know, just funny looking. Can you be any more specific? I couldn't really say. He wasn't circumcised. Was he funny looking apart from that? Yeah. So you're having sex with the little fella then? Uh-huh. Is there anything else you can tell me about him? No, like I said, he was funny looking, more than most people even. What about the other fella? He was a little older, looked like the Marlboro Man. Yeah? Yeah, maybe I'm saying that 'cause he smoked Marlboros. Uh-huh. A subconscious type thing. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah. They were saying they were going to the Twin Cities. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, is that useful to ya? Oh, you bet, yeah. It is now dusk. The brown Sierra with dealer plates still sits in the driveway of the lakeside cabin. We track in on Jean Lundegard, who sits tied in a chair with the black hood still over her head. As we track in, we hear inarticulate cursing, intermittent banging, and loud static. We track in on Gare Grimsrud, who sits smoking a cigarette and expressionlessly gazing off screen. We track in on Carl Showalter, who stands over an old black and white television. It plays nothing but snow. Carl is banging on it as he mutters, "Days! We'll be here for days with a... Damn it, a goddamn mute. Nothing to do, the fucking... damn it!" Each damn it brings a pound of his fist on the TV. TV doesn't even... plug me in, man. Give me a... signal. Plug me in the ozone, baby. Plug me into the ozone. Fuck! With one last bang, we cut. Extreme close-up of an insect lugging a worm. The bark beetle carries the worm to the nest, where it will feed its young for up to 6 weeks. A pullback from the screen reveals that we are in Marge's house. Marge and Norm are watching television in bed. From the TV, we hear insects chirring. After a long beat, silence except for the TV, Marge murmurs, still looking at the set. "Well, I'm turning in, Norm." Also looking at the TV. "Oh, yeah?" Marge rolls over and Norm continues to watch. We hold. Black. A snowflake drops through the black. Another flake. It starts snowing. Brainerd Main Street. A lone traffic light blinks slowly and steadily red. Snow sifts down. There is no other movement. We are looking up at the bottom-lit statue of Paul Bunyan. Snow falls. Snow drops away in a high shot of Marge's house. The bedroom is dark. Norm is snoring. The phone rings. Marge gropes in the dark. "Yeah, is this Marge? Hello? Yeah? Margie Olmsted? Well, yeah, who is this?" "This is Mike Yanagita. You know, Mike Yanagita, remember me?" "Mike Yanagita?" "Yeah." Marge props herself up next to the still sleeping Norm. "Oh, yeah, of course I remember. How are you? What time is it?" "Oh, geez, it's 11:15. I hope I didn't wake you." "No, it's okay." "Yeah, I'm down in the Twin Cities, and I was just watching on TV about these shootings up in Brainerd, and I saw you in the news there." "Yeah." I thought, geez, is that Margie Olmsted? I can't believe it. "Yeah, that's me." "Well, how the heck are ya?" "Okay, okay." "Yeah?" "Yeah, how you doing?" "Oh, pretty good." "Heck, it's been such a long time, Mike. It's great to hear from you." Yeah, geez, Margie. Jerry is on the sales floor, showing a customer a vehicle. "Yeah, you got her, this is loaded here. This is your independent and slip differential and your rack and pinion steering, your alarm and radar, and can give it to you with a heck of a sealant. This True Coat stuff, it'll keep the salt off." "Yeah, we don't need no sealant though." "Yeah, you don't need that. Now, were you thinking of financing here? You ought to be aware of this GMAC plan they have now. It's real super." "Jerry, you got a call here." "Yeah, okay." Jerry sits in his cubicle and picks up his phone. "Jerry Lundegard." "All right, Jerry, you got the phone to yourself?" "Well, yeah." "You know who this is?" "Well, yeah, I got an idea. How's that Sierra working out for you?" "Circumstances have changed, Jerry." "Well, what do you mean?" "Things have changed. Circumstances, Jerry. Beyond the, acts of God, force majeure. How's Jean?" "Who's Jean?" "My wife. Oh, Jean's okay. But there's 3 people up in Brainerd who aren't so okay, I'll tell you that. What the heck are you talking about? Let's just finish up this deal here. Blood has been shed, Jerry. Jerry sits dumbly. The voice solemnly repeats, blood has been shed. What the heck do you mean? 3 people in Brainerd. Oh, geez. That's right. We need more money. The heck do you mean? What do you guys got yourself mixed up in? We need more. This is supposed to be a no rough stuff type deal. Don't ever interrupt me, Jerry. Just shut the fuck up. Well, I'm sorry. Look, I'm not going to debate you, Jerry. The price is now the whole amount. We want the entire $80,000. Oh, for Christ's sakes here. Blood has been shed. We've incurred risks, Jerry. I'm coming into town tomorrow. Have the money ready. Now, we had a deal here. A deal's a deal. Is it, Jerry? You ask those 3 poor souls up in Brainerd if a deal's a deal. Go ahead, ask them. The heck do you mean? I'll see you tomorrow. Click. Jerry slams down the phone, which immediately rings. He angrily snatches it up. Jerome Lundegaard? Yeah? This is Riley Deffenbach at GMAC. Sir, I have not yet received those vehicle IDs you promised me. Yeah, those are in the mail. Mr. Lundegaard, that very well may be. I must inform you, however, that absent the receipt of those numbers by tomorrow afternoon, I will have to refer this matter to our legal department. Yeah. My patience is at an end. Yeah. Good day, sir. Yeah. We are looking at Jerry's cubicle from across the showroom. Noise muted by distance, we watch Jerry slam down the receiver, rise to his feet, fling the phone to the floor, raise his desk blotter high over his head with pens and pencils rolling off of it, and slam it onto his desktop. He stands for a moment, hands on hips, glaring. He stoops and picks up the phone, places it back on the desktop, starts picking up the pens and pencils. On steam table bins of food, each identified with a plaque. Beef stroganoff, Swedish meatballs, broiled torsk, chicken Florentine. A complimentary track shows 2 trays being pushed along a buffet line, piled high with many foods. Marge and Norm at a table. They sit next to each other at a long cafeteria-style formica table, silently eating. A hip with a hissing walkie-talkie enters frame. Hi, Norm. How you doing, Margie? How's the fricassee? Pretty darn good. You want some? No, I gotta... Hey, Norm, I thought you were going fishing up at Mile Lacs. Yeah, after lunch. He goes back to his food. What you got there? Gary hands her down a flimsy. Marge takes it with one hand and looks, her other hand frozen with a forkful of food. The numbers he asked for. Calls made from the lobby phone at Blue Ox. 2 to Minneapolis that night. First one's a trucking company. Second one's a private residence. A Shep Proudfoot. A what? Shep Proudfoot, that's a name. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think I'll drive down there then. Oh yeah, Twin Cities? Norm, who has been eating steadily throughout, looks over at Marge with mild interest. He stares for a beat as he finishes chewing, then swallows and says, Oh yeah? Jerry, Wade, and Stan Grossman sit around the kitchen table in the Lundegaard house. It is night. The scene is harshly toplit by a hanging fixture. On the table are remains of coffee and a cinnamon filbert ring. Damn it, I want to be part of this thing. No, Wade, they were real clear. They said they'd call tomorrow with instructions and it's going to be delivered by me alone. It's my money. I'll deliver it. What do they care? Wade's got a point there. I'll handle the call if you want, Jerry. No, see, they only deal with me. You feel this? Nervousness on the phone there. They're very dangerous. All the more reason. I don't want you, with all due respect, Jerry. I don't want you mucking this up. The heck do you mean? They want my money, they can deal with me. Otherwise, I'm going to a professional. He points at a briefcase. There's $1 million here. No, see... Look, Jerry, you're not selling me a damn car. It's my show here, that's it. It's the way we prefer to handle it, Jerry. The downtown Radisson Hotel. Marge is at the reception desk. How you doing? Real good. How are you today, ma'am? Real good. I'm Mrs. Gunderson. I have a reservation. The clerk types into a computer console. You sure do, Mrs. Gunderson. Is there a phone down here, you think? Marge is on a public phone in the lobby corner. Detective Seibert, yeah. This is Marge Gunderson from up Brainerd. We spoke... Yeah, well... Actually, I'm in town here. I had to do a few things in Twin Cities, so I thought I'd check in with you about that USIF search on Shep Proudfoot. Oh, yeah? Well, maybe I'll go visit with him if I have the... No, I can find that. Yeah, well, thanks a bunch. Say, do you happen to know a good place for lunch in the downtown area? Oh, the Radisson? Oh, yeah, is that reasonable? A green freeway sign. Through a windshield, we see a sign for the Minneapolis International Airport. A rooftop parking lot. The brown Sierra enters and drives lazy S-curves around the few snow-covered cars parked on the roof of the lot. It stops by one car and Carl emerges. He quickly scans the lot, then kneels in the snow at the back of the parked car and starts unscrewing its license plate. Carl pulls up and hands the attendant his ticket. I decided not to park here. The attendant frowns uncomprehendingly at the ticket. What do you mean you decided not to park here? Yeah, I just came in. I decided not to park here. The attendant is still puzzled. I'm sorry, sir, but I decided not to... Look, I'm not taking the trip as it turns out. I'm sorry, sir. We have to charge you the $4. I just pulled in here. I just fucking pulled in here. We'll see, there's a minimum charge of $4. Long-term parking charges by the day. A car behind beeps. Carl glances back and starts digging for money. I guess you think, you're an authority figure with your stupid fucking uniform, huh, buddy? The attendant says nothing. King clip-on tie here, big fucking man. He is peeling off $1 bills. These are the limits of your life, man. Ruler of your own little fucking gate here. Here's your $4, you pathetic piece of shit. Jerry is staring up, mouth agape, at the underside of a car on a hydraulic lift. Bewildered, he looks about and then asks a mechanic passing by, his voice raised over the din of the shop. Where's Shep? The mechanic points. Talking to a cop. Jerry looks. Marge and Shep face each other at the other end of the floor in a grimy and cluttered glassed-in cubicle. Says she was a policewoman. Marge and Shep silently talk. Jerry stares and swallows. Wednesday night? Shep is shaking his head. Nope. Well, do you reside at the 1425 Fremont Terrace? Yeah. Anyone else residing there? No. Well, Mr. Proudfoot, this call came past 3 a.m. It's just hard for me to believe you can't remember anyone calling. Shep says nothing. Now, I know you had some problems struggling with narcotics and some other entanglements, currently on parole. So? Well, associating with criminals, if you're the one they talked to, that right there would be a violation of your parole and would end you back in Stillwater. Uh-huh. Now, I saw some rough stuff on your priors, but nothing in the nature of homicide. Shep stares at her. And I know you don't want to be an accessory to something like that. No. So you think you might remember who those folks were who called ya? Jerry is worriedly pacing behind his desk. At a noise, he looks up. Marge has stuck her head in the door. Mr. Lunegard. Huh? Yeah. I was wondering if I could take a minute of your time here. Yeah, what is this about? Huh? Do you mind if I sit down? I'm carrying quite a load here. Marge plops into the chair opposite him. You're the owner here, Mr. Lunegard. No, executive sales manager. Well, you can help me. My name's Marge Gunderson. My father-in-law, he's the owner. Uh-huh. Well, I'm a police officer from up Brainerd, investigating some malfeasance, and I was just wondering if you've had any new vehicles stolen off the lot in the past couple weeks, specifically a tan Cutlass Sierra. Jerry stares at her, his mouth open. Mr. Lundegard? Brainerd? Yeah, home of Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. Babe the Blue Ox? Yeah, I know, we've got the big statue there. So you haven't had any vehicles go missing then? No, ma'am. Okie dokie, thanks a bunch. I'll let you get back to your paperwork then. As Marge rises, Jerry looks blankly down at the papers on the desk in front of him. Yeah, okay. He looks up at Marge's retreating back. He looks back down at the papers. He looks over at the phone. He picks up the phone and dials 4 digits. Yeah, gimme Shep. The heck do you mean? Well, where'd he go? It's only... No, I don't need a mechanic. Oh, geez, I gotta talk to a friend of his, so... have him, Oh, geez. Marge enters. She looks around the hotel bar, a rather characterless, low-lit meeting place for business people. Marge? It is a bald, paunching man of about Marge's age, rising from a booth halfway back. His features are broad, friendly, Asian American. Mike! He approaches somewhat carefully, as if on his second drink. They hug and head back toward the booth. Geez, you look great. Ah, easy there, you do too. I'm expecting, you know. I see, that's great. A waitress meets them at the table. What can I get you? Just a Diet Coke. Again, she glances about. This is a nice place. Yeah, you know, it's the Radisson, so it's pretty good. You're living in Edna then? Yeah, a couple of years now. It's actually Eden Prairie, that school district. So, Chief Gunderson. So you went and married Norm's son of a Gunderson? Oh yeah, a long time ago. Great. What brings you down? Are you down here on that homicide? If you're allowed, you know, to discuss that? Oh yeah, but there's not a heck of a lot to discuss. What about you, Mike? Are you married? You have kids? Well, yeah, I was married. Was married. You mind if I sit over here? He is sliding out of his side of the booth and easing next to Marge. I was married to Linda Cooksey. No, Mike, won't you sit over there? I prefer that. Okay, I'm sorry. No, just so I can see ya, you know, don't have to turn my neck. Oh, sure, I understand. I didn't mean to. No, it's fine. Yeah, sorry, so I was married to Linda Cooksey. You remember Linda? She was a year behind us. Yeah, I think I remember Linda. Yeah, she was, yeah. So things didn't work out, huh? Well, then I'd been working for Honeywell for a few years. Yeah, they're a good outfit. Yeah, if you're an engineer, yeah. So you could do a lot worse, of course. It's not nothing like your achievement. Sounds like you're doing really super. Yeah, well, it's not that it didn't work out. Linda passed away. She, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, she had leukemia, you know. No, I didn't know. It was tough. It was long. She fought real hard, Marge. I'm sorry, Mike. Oh, you know, that's, what can I say? He holds up his drink. Better times, huh? Marge clinks it. Better times. I've been so, and then I saw you on TV, and I remembered, you know, I always liked you. Well, I always liked you, Mike. I always liked you so much. Ah, it's okay. Mike, should we get together another time, you think? No, I'm sorry, it's just, I've been so lonely, and then I saw you, and... He's weeping. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this. I thought we'd have a really terrific time, and now it's okay. You were such a super lady then, and I've been so lonely. It's okay, Mike. Carl Showalter is sitting at a small table with a tardy-looking blonde in a low-cut gown. Each holds a drink. Just in town on business. Just in and out. A little bit of the old in and out. What do you do? Carl looks around. Have you been to the celebrity room before with the other, clients? I don't think so. It's nice. Yeah, well, it depends on the artist, you know. Jose Filancino. You got no complaints? Hey, waiter. The reverse shows a disappearing waiter and the backs of many, many people sitting at tables between us and the very distant stage. Jose Filancino, very small, performs on a spotlit stool. The acoustics are poor. Carl grimaces. What is he, deaf? So, how long you been with the escort service? I don't know. A few months. You find the work interesting, do you? What are you talking about? A dirty bedroom. Carl is humping the escort. We hear the door burst open. The escort is grabbed and flung out of bed. Shep, what the hell are you doing? I'm banging that girl, Shep. Jesus Christ. Shep slams him hard, forehand, backhand. Fuck out of my house. He hauls him up. Shep, don't you dare fucking hit me, man. Don't you... Punches him and flings him away. Carl hits a sofa and we see his bare legs disappear as he flips back over it. Shep enters frame to circle the sofa and kick at Carl from behind it. Fuck out of here. Put me back in Stillwater, little fucking shit. There's a knock at the door. Hey, come on in there. Shep strides to the door, flings it open. A man in boxer shorts stands in the doorway. Come on, brother, it's late. Shep hits him twice and then grabs both his ears and starts banging his head against the wall. The hooker runs by clutching her clothes, and Shep kicks her in the ass as she passes. He spins and goes back into the apartment. Carl is hopping desperately into his pants. Stay away from me, man! Hey, smoke a fucking peace pipe, man! Don't you dare fucking... Oh! After hitting him several times, Shep yanks Carl's bout out of his dangling pants and strangles him with it. Carl gurgles. Shep knees Carl repeatedly, then dumps him onto the floor and starts whipping him with the buckle end of the belt. Carl listens to the phone ring at the other end. His face is deeply bruised and cut. Finally through the phone. Yeah? All right, Jerry. I'm through fucking around. You got the fucking money? Jerry is at the kitchen phone. Through the door to the dining room, we see Wade picking up an extension. Yeah, we got the money, but... Don't you fucking butt me, Jerry. I want you with this money on the Dayton-Radisson parking ramp, top level, 30 minutes, and we'll wrap this up. Yeah, okay, but, you'll be here in 30 minutes, or I find you, Jerry, and I shoot you, and I shoot your fucking wife, and I shoot all your little fucking children, and I shoot them all in the back of their little fucking heads. Got it? Yeah, well, you stay away from Scotty now. Got it? Okay, real good then. The line goes dead. A door slams off screen. Wade, briefcase in hand, gets into his Cadillac, slams the door, and peels out. Wade's jaw works as he glares out at the traffic. He mumbles to himself as he drives. Okay, here's your damn money. Now where's my daughter? Goddamn punk. Where's my damn daughter? He pulls out a gun, cracks the barrel, peers in. You little punk. Jerry sits in the foyer, trying to pull on a pair of galoshes. Scotty's voice comes from upstairs. Dad? It's okay, Scotty. Where are you going? Be back in a minute. If Stan calls you, just tell him I went to Embers. Oh, geez. Thunk, his first boot goes on. Marge sits on the bed of her hotel room, shoes off, massaging her feet. The phone is pressed to her ear, and through it, we hear ringing. Hello? Norm? It is late evening, blowing storm. A leisurely pan across a bleak gray expanse fills a little hut in the middle of the frozen lake with a pickup truck parked next to it. They bitin'? Norm has a cellular phone to his ear. His feet are stretched out to an electric heater. The interior is bathed in soft orange light. Yeah, how's the hotel? Oh, pretty good. They bitin'? Yeah, a couple of muskies. No pike yet. How do you feel? Oh, fine. Not on your feet too much? No. You shouldn't be on your feet too much. You got weight you're not used to. How's the food down there? Had dinner at a place called King's Table, buffet style. It was pretty darn good. Was it reasonable? Yeah, not too bad. So it's nice up there? Yeah, it's good. No pike yet, but it's good. The Dayton-Radisson ramp. Atop open level, snow blows. A car sits idling. Another car pulls onto the roof. It creeps over to the parked car and stops. It continues to idle as it opens and Wade steps out carrying the briefcase. The door of the other car bangs open and Carl bounces out. "Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?" "I got your goddamn money, you little punk. Now where's my daughter?" "I am through fucking around. Drop that fucking briefcase." "Where's my daughter?" "Fuck you, man. Where's Jerry? I gave simple fucking instructions." "Where's my damn daughter? No Gene, no money." "Drop that fucking money." "No Gene, no money." Is this a fucking joke here? He pulls out a gun and fires into Wade's gut. Is this a fucking joke? Oh jeez. He's on the pavement, clutching at his gut. Snow swirls. You fucking imbeciles. He bends down next to Wade to pick up the briefcase. Oh, for Christ. Oh, jeez. Wade brings out his gun and fires at Carl's head, close by. Ah! Carl stumbles and falls back and then stands up again. His jaw is gouting blood. One hand pressed to his jaw, he fires down at Wade several times. Blood streams through the hand pressed to his jaw. You fucking shot me. He pockets the gun, picks up the briefcase in one hand, and flings it into the car. He gets in and peels out. Carl screams down the ramp. He takes a corner at high speed and swerves, just missing Jerry and his olds on the way to the top. Jerry recovers from the near miss and continues up. Oh, jeez. Carl squeals to a halt at the gate, still pressing his hand to his bleeding jaw. My fucking gaff. May I have your ticket, please? Jerry pulls to a halt next to Wade's idling Cadillac. He gets out and walks slowly to Wade's body, prostrate in the swirling snow. Oh, jeez! He bends down, picks Wade up by the armpits and drags him over to the back of the Cadillac. He drops Wade's body, walks to the driver's side of the car, pulls the keys and walks back to pop the trunk. He wrestles Wade's body into the trunk, slams it shut and walks back to the scene of the shooting. He kicks at the snow with his galoshed feet, trying to hide the fresh bloodstains. Jerry approaches in the Cadillac to the exit booth. The wooden gate barring the exit has been broken away. The booth is empty. Jerry eases towards the street, looking over at the booth as he passes. Inside the booth, we see the awkwardly angled leg of a prostrate body. The car pulls into the driveway of Jerry's house. Jerry enters and sits on the foyer chair to take off his galoshes. Dad? Yeah? Stan Grossman called. Yeah, okay. Twice. Okay. Is everything okay? Yeah. Thunk. The first boot comes off. Are you calling Stan? Well, I'm going to bed now. Carl mumbles as he drives, underlit by the dim dash lights, one hand now holding a piece of rag to his shredded jaw. Fucking fuck. Carl's car roars into frame, violently swirling the snow. Its red taillights fishtail away. We fade out, and hard cut to looking through the windshield. It is a stark sunny day. We are cruising down a street of humble look-alike houses. We pan right as we draw towards one house in particular. It's the driveway of a man in a hooded parka shoveling snow. He notices the approaching car and gives its driver a wave. The driver is Gary, the Brainerd police officer. He gives a finger to the head salute and pulls over. Gary slams his door shut and the other man plants his shovel in the snow. How you doing? Mr. Mara? Yeah. Officer Olson? Yeah, righto. The two men caucus the driveway without shaking hands and without standing particularly close. They stand stiffly, arms down at their sides and breath streaming out of their parka hoods. Each has an awkward leaning away posture, head drawn slightly back and chin tucked in to keep his face from protruding into the cold. So I'm tending the bar there at Eklund, Sweden's last Tuesday, and this little guy's drinking, and he says, so where can a guy find some action? I'm going crazy down there at the lake. And I said, what kind of action? And he says, woman action. What do I look like? And I says, well, what do I look like? I don't arrange that kind of thing. And he says, well, I'm going crazy here out at the lake. And I says, well, this ain't that kind of place. Uh-huh. So he says, I get it. So you think I'm some kind of jerk for asking, only he doesn't use the word jerk. I understand. And then he calls me a jerk and says the last guy who thought he was a jerk was dead now. So I don't say nothing, and he says, what do you think about that? So I says, well, that don't sound like too good a deal for him then. You got that right. And he says, yeah, that guy's dead, and I don't mean old age. And then he says, geez, I'm going crazy out there at the lake. White Bear Lake? Well, Eklund and Sweetlands, that's closer to Moose Lake, so I made that assumption. Oh, sure. So, he's drinking, so I don't think a whole great deal of it, but Mrs. Mora heard about the homicides out here, and she thought I should call it in, so I did. End of story. What did this guy look like, anyway? He was a little guy, kind of funny looking. Uh-huh. In what way? Just a general way. Ah, well, thanks a bunch, Mr. Mora. You're right. It's probably nothing, but thanks for calling her in. Oh, sure. They say she's going to turn cold tomorrow. Yep, got her front moving in. You got that right. Close on Carl Showalter. In his car, now parked, one hand holding the rag pressed to his mangled jaw. He's staring down at something in the front seat next to him. His other hands hold open the briefcase. It has money inside. A lot of money. Carl unfreezes, takes out one of the bank-wrapped wads and looks at it. He paused through the money in the briefcase to get a feeling for the amount. Jesus Christ, Jesus fucking Christ! Excited, he counts out a bundle of bills and tosses it into the back seat. He starts to take the rag away from his chin, but the layer pressed against his face sticks. Its loose weave, bound to his skin by clotted blood. He pulls very gently and winces as blood starts to flow again. He carefully tears the rag in half so only a bit of it remains adhering to his jaw. The car is now pulled over on the side of an untraveled road. The door opens and Carl emerges with the briefcase. He slogs through the snow, down a gully, and up the embankment to a barbed-wired fence. He kneels at one of the fence posts and frantically digs into the snow with his bare hands, throws in the briefcase and covers it back up. He stands and tries to beat the circulation back into his red, frozen hands. He looks to the right. A regular line of identical fence posts stretches away against unblemished white. He looks to the left. A regular line of identical fence posts stretches away against unblemished white. He looks at the fence post in front of him. He looks about the snowy vastness for a marker. Finding none, he kicks the fence post a few times, failing to scar or tilt it. Then he hurriedly plants a couple of sticks up against the post. He bends down, scoops up a handful of snow, presses it against his wounded jaw, and lopes back to the idling car. Marge has a packed overnight bag sitting on the unmade bed. She is ready to leave, already wearing her parka, but is on the phone. No, I'm leaving this morning back up to Brainerd. Well, I'm sorry I won't see you. Yeah, but you think he's all right? I saw him last night and he's... What did he say? Nothing specific. He said it just seemed like it hit him real hard, his wife dying. His wife? Linda. No. Linda Cooksey? No. He was bothering Linda for a good year, real pestering her, wouldn't leave her alone. So they didn't... No, they never married. Mike's had psychiatric problems. Oh my. Yeah, he's been struggling. He's living with his parents now. Oh, geez. Yeah, Linda's fine. You should call her. Well, geez, that's a surprise. Marge drives, gazing out at the road. Marge at a drive-thru. She leans out her open window and yells at the order panel. Hello? Marge sits in the lot of the Gustafsson garage, eating a breakfast sandwich. Jerry is at his desk, using a blunt pencil to enter numbers into a form. Beneath the form is a piece of carbon paper, and beneath that, another form copy, which Jerry periodically checks. The carbon copy form shows thick, smudgy, illegible entries. Jerry hums nervously. Glass rattles as someone taps at his door. Jerry looks up and freezes, mouth hanging open, brow knit with worry. Marge sticks her head in the door. "Mr. Lundegaard, sorry to bother you again. Can I come in?" She starts to enter. "Yeah, no, I'm kind of busy." "I understand. I'll keep it real short then. I'm on my way out of town, but you mind if I sit down? I'm carrying a bit of a load here." "No, But she is already sitting in the chair opposite with a sigh of relieved weight. "Yeah, it's this vehicle I asked about yesterday. I was just wondering. Yeah, like I told you, we haven't had any vehicles go missing." "Okay, are you sure? 'Cause how do you know? Because, see, the crime I'm investigating, the perpetrators were driving a car with dealer plates, and they called someone who works here, so I thought it'd be quite a coincidence if they weren't, connected." "Yeah, I see. So, have you done any kind of inventory recently?" "The car is not from our lot, ma'am." "But how do you know that for sure without—" "Well, I would know. I'm the executive sales manager." "Yeah, but we run a pretty tight ship here." "I know, but, well, how are you to establish that, sir? Are the cars counted daily, or what kind of—" "Ma'am, I answered your question." There's a silent beat. "I'm sorry, sir." "Ma'am, I answered your question. I answered the darn... I'm cooperating here, and Sir, you have no call to get snippy with me. I'm just doing my job." "I'm not arguing here. I'm cooperating. We're doing all we can." He trails off into silence. "Sir, can I talk to Mr. Gustafson?" Jerry stares at her. "Mr. Lundegaard?" Jerry explodes. "Well, heck, if you wanna play games here, I'm working with you on this thing, but He's getting angrily off his feet. "Okay, I'll do a damned lot count." "Sir? Right now?" "Sure, right now, you're darn tootin'." He's yanking his parka from the hook behind the open door and is grabbing a pair of galoshes. "If it's so damned important to you." "I'm sorry, sir, Jerry has the parka slung over one arm and the galoshes pinched in his hand. "Aw, what the Christ!" He stamps out the door. Marge stares. After a long moment, her stare breaks. She glances idly around the office. There's a framed picture facing away from her on the desktop. She turns it to face her. It is Scotty holding an accordion. There's another picture of Jean. Marge looks at it, looks around, for some reason at the ceiling. She looks at the trophy shelf on the wall behind her. She fiddles idly with a pencil. She pulls a clipboard towards her. It holds a form from General Motors Finance Corporation. She looks idly around. Her look abruptly locks. "Oh, for Pete's sake!" Jerry is easing his car around the near corner of the building. Marge's voice is flat with dismay. "Oh, for Pete's sake!" She grabs the phone and punches in a number. "For Pete's sake, he's fleeing the interview! He's fleeing the interview!" Jerry makes a left, turning into traffic. "Detective Silbert, please." We are looking across a steam table at a man in blue. He moves slowly to the right, pushing his tray along a cafeteria line. Behind him, in the depth of the room, is an eating area of long formica tables, at which sit a mix of uniformed and civilian-clothed police and staff. We are listening to an off-screen woman's voice. "Well, so far we're just saying he's wanted for questioning in connection with a triple homicide. Nobody at the dealership there has been much help guessing where he might go." The woman is entering frame, sliding a tray. Marge enters behind her, sliding her own. We move laterally with them as they slowly make their way along the line. "Uh-huh. We called his house. His little boy said he hadn't been there." "And his wife?" "She's visiting relatives in Florida. Now his boss, this guy Gustafson, he's also disappeared. Nobody at the office knows where he is." "Geez, looks like this thing goes higher than we thought. You call his home?" His wife's in the hospital. Has been for a couple of months. The Big C. Oh my. And this Ship Proudfoot character, he's a little darling. He's now wanted for assault and parole violation. He clobbered a neighbor of his last night and another person who could be one of your perps, but he's at large. Boy, this thing is really... Jeez. Well, they're all out on the wire. Well, you know. Yeah. I can't thank you enough, Detective Silbert. This cooperation has been outstanding. Ah, well, we haven't had to run around like you. When do you due? End of April. Any others? This'll be our first. We've been waiting a long time. That's wonderful. It'll change your life, of course. Ah, yeah, I know that. They can really take over, that's for sure. You have children. Detective Silbert pulls an accordion of plastic picture sleeves from her purse to show Marge. I thought you'd never ask. The older one is Janet, she's 9, and the younger one is Morgan. Oh, now he's adorable. He's 3 now, of course, not in the picture. Oh, he's adorable. Yeah, Where'd you get him that parka? They have reached the end of the cafeteria line. With a nod to the cashier, Detective Silbert indicates hers and Marge's trays. Both of these. Oh no, I can't let you do that. Oh, don't be silly. Ah, well, okay. Thank you, Detective. Oh, don't be silly. Gare Grimsrud sits eating a Swanson TV dinner from a TV tray he has set up in front of an easy chair. He watches the old black and white TV set, whose image, it might be a game show, is still heavily ghosting and diffused by snow. The audio crackles with interference. Despite the impenetrability of its image, it holds Grimsrud's complete attention. At the sound of the front door opening, Grimsrud looks up. Carl enters, his face suppurating and raw. He reacts to Grimsrud's wordless look with a grotesque laugh. You should see the other guy. He glances around. The fuck happened to her? Jean sits slumped in a straight-back chair facing the wall. Her hooded head resting on her chin is motionless. There's blood on the facing wall. She started shrieking, you know. Jesus. He shakes his head. Well, I got a muddy. He is plunking down 8 bank-wrapped bundles on the table. All of it. All 80 grand. 40 for you? He makes one pile, pockets the rest. 40 for me. So, this is it. Adios. He slaps the keys down on the table. You can have my truck. I'm taking the Sierra. We split that. Carl looks at him. How the fuck we gonna split a fucking car, you dummy? With a fucking chainsaw? Grimsrud looks sourly up. There's a beat. Finally, one of us pays the other for half. Hold on! No fucking way! You get the fucking notice this? I got a fucking shot in the face! I want the goddamn fucking money! I got shot picking it up! I've been here for 30 fucking hours! I'm taking that fucking car! That's fucking mine! Carl waits for an argument, but only gets the steady, sour look. Carl pulls out a gun. You fucking asshole! I listened to your bullshit for a whole fucking week! A beat. Carl returns Grimsrud's stare. Are we square? Grimsrud says nothing. Are we square? Disgusted, Carl pockets the gun and heads for the door. Fucking asshole. And if I see your friend Shep Proudfoot, tell him I'm gonna nail his fucking ass. We are pulling Carl as he walks towards the car. Behind him we see the cabin door opening. Carl returns, reacting to the sound. Grimsrud is bounding out wearing mittens and a red hunter's cap, but no overcoat. He's wearing an axe. Carl fumbles in his pocket for his gun. Grimsrud swings overhand, burying the axe in Carl's neck. Marge in her cruiser on her two-way. Through it, we hear Lou's voice, heavily filtered. His wife, this guy says she was kidnapped last Wednesday. The day of our homicides. Yeah. Marge is peering to one side as she drives, looking through the bare trees that border the road on a declivity that runs down to a large frozen lake. This guy is Lundegard's father-in-law's accountant. Gustafsson's accountant. Yeah, but we still haven't found Gustafsson. Looking. Sorry, I didn't copy. Still missing. We're looking. Copy. And Lundegard, too. Yeah, where are you, Margie? We hear distant but growing louder, harsh engine noise, of that of a chainsaw or lawnmower. Oh, I'm almost back. I'm driving around Moose Lake. Oh, Gary's loud mouth. Yeah, the loud mouth. So the other state has it, Lundegard and Gustafsson? Yeah, it's over the wire. It's everywhere. You'll find them. Copy. We've gotta... There's the car! There's the car! We are slowing as we approach a short driveway leading down to a cabin. Parked in front is the brown Cutlass Sierra. Whose car? My car! The 10 Sierra! Don't go in. Wait for backup. Marge is straining to look. The power tool noise is louder here but still muffled, its source not yet visible. Chief Gunderson? Yeah, send me backup copy. Yes, ma'am. Are we the closest PD? Yeah, Menominee only has Chief Perpich, and he takes February off to go to Boundary Waters. Marge pulls her prowler over some distance past the cabin. She gets out, zips up her khaki parka, and pulls up its fur-lined hood. For a moment she stands listening to the muffled roar of the power tool, and then, with one curved arm half pressing against, half supporting her belly, she takes slow, gingerly steps down the slope, through the deep snow, through the trees angling towards the cabin and the source of the grinding noise. She slogs from tree to tree, letting each one support her downhill leaning weight for a moment before slogging to the next. The roar grows louder. Marge stands panting by a tree, her breath vaporizing out of her snorkel hood. She squints down towards the cabin's back lot. A tall man with his back to us, wearing a red plaid quilted jacket and a hunting cap with ear flaps, is laboring over a large power tool, which his body blocks from view. Marge advances. The man is forcing downward something which engages the roaring power tool and makes a harsh, spluttering noise. The man is Grimsrud. His nose red and eyes watering from the cold, hat flaps pulled down over his ears. His breath steams as he sourly goes about his work, both hands pressing down a shod foot, as if it were the shaft of a butter churn. The roar is very loud. Marge slogs down to the next tree, panting, looking. Grimsrud forces more of the leg into the machine, which we can now see sprays small wet chunks out of the bottom. Marge's eyes shift. A large dark form lies in the snow next to Grimsrud. Grimsrud works on, eyes watering. With a grunt, he bends down out of frame and then re-enters holding a thick log. He uses it to force the leg deeper into the machine. Marge is advancing. She holds the gun extended towards Grimsrud, who is still turned away. Grimsrud rubs his nose with the back of his hand. Marge closes in, grimacing. Grimsrud's back strains as he puts his weight into the log that pushes down into the machine. The dark shape in the snow next to his side is the rest of Carl Showalter's body. Marge has drawn to within 20 yards. When she bellows, it sounds hollow and distant, her voice all but eaten up by the roar of the power tool. Stop! Police! Turn around and hands up! Startled, Grimsrud scowls. He turns to face her. He stares. Marge bellows again. Hands up! Conscious of the noise, she shows with a twist of her shoulder the arm patch insignia. Police! Grimsrud stares. With a quick twist, he reaches back for the log, hurls it at Marge, and then starts running away. Marge twists her body sideways, shielding herself. No need. The heavy log travels perhaps 10 yards and lands in the snow several feet short of her. Grimsrud pants up the hill, slowly going through the deeper snow. Behind him, halt! She fires in the air. She lowers the gun and carefully sighs. Halt! She fires. Grimsrud still slogs up the hill. A miss. Marge sights again. Halt! She fires again. Grimsrud pitches forward. He mutters in Swedish as he reaches down to clutch at his wounded leg. Marge walks towards him, gun trained on him, as her other hand reaches under her parka and gropes around her waist. It comes out with a pair of handcuffs, which she opens with the snap of a wrist. All right, buddy, on your belly and your hands clasped behind you. Marge drives the cruiser. Grimsrud sits in the back seat, hands cuffed behind him. For a long moment there he is quiet. Only engine hum and the periodic clomp of wheels on pavement seems, as Marge grimly shakes her head. So that was Mrs. Lundegard in there. She glances up in the rearview mirror. Grimsrud, cheeks sunk, eyes hollow, looks sourly out at the road. Marge shakes her head. At length. I guess that was your accomplice in the wood chipper. Grimsrud's head bobs with the bumps in the road. Otherwise he is motionless, reactionless, scowling, and gazing out. And those 3 people in Brainerd? No response. Marge, gazing forward, seems to be talking to herself. And for what? A little bit of money? We hear distant sirens. There's more to life than money, you know. She glances up in the rearview mirror. Don't you know that? And here you are. It's a beautiful day. Grimsrud's hollow eyes stare out. The sirens are getting louder. Marge pulls over. Well, she leans forward to the dash to give 2 short signaling whoops on her siren. She turns on her flashers. She leans back with a creak and jangle of utilities. She stares forward, shakes her head. We hear the dull click of her flashers. I just don't understand it. Outside it is snowing. The sky, the earth, the road, all white. A squad car, gumballs spinning, punches through the white. It approaches in slow motion. An ambulance punches through after it. Another squad car. High and wide on a shabby motel. It stands next to a highway on a snowy, windswept plain. 1 or 2 cars dot the parking lot, along with an idling police cruiser. We are looking over the shoulders of 2 uniformed policemen who stand on either side of the door, their hands resting lightly on their holstered sidearms. One of them raps at the door. Mr. Anderson? A title fades in. Outside of Bismarck, North Dakota. After a pause, muffled through the door. Who? Mr. Anderson, is this your Burgundy 88 out here? Just a sec. Could you open the door, please? Yeah, just a sec. We hear a clatter from inside. Just a sec. One of the policemen unholsters his gun and nods to someone whose back enters. A superintendent holding a key of rings. This man turns a key in the door and then stands away. The 2 policemen, guns at the ready, bang into the motel room. The rough handheld camera rushes in behind them as 2 men give the room a 2-handed sweep of their guns. The room is empty. Cop 1 indicates the open bathroom door. Dale! The 2 men charge the bathroom, belts jingling, guns at the ready. Jittery camera behind them rushing to keep pace. A man in boxer shorts is halfway out of the bathroom window. The policemen holster their guns and charge the window, and drag Jerry Lundegard back into the room. His flesh quivers as he thrashes and keens in short, piercing screams. The cops wrestle him to the floor, but his palsied thrashing continues. The policemen struggle to restrain him. Call an ambulance! You got him okay? Cop 1 pins Jerry's arms to the floor, and Jerry bursts into uncontrolled sobbing. Yeah, call an ambulance. Jerry sobs and screams. We are square on Norm in the bedroom, who is sitting in bed watching television. After a long beat, Marge enters frame in a nightie and climbs into bed with some effort. Oof! Norm reaches for her hand, as both watch the television. At length, Norm speaks, but keeps his eyes on the TV. They announced it. Marge looks at him. They announced it? Yeah. Marge looks at him, waiting for more, but Norm's eyes stay fixed on the television. So?
3-cent stamp.
Your Mallard?
Yeah.
Norm, that's terrific! Norm tries to suppress a smile of pleasure. It's just the 3 cent. It's terrific!
Hotman's blue-winged teal got the 29 cent. People don't much use the 3 cent.
Oh, for Pete's sake, of course they do! Every time they raise the darn postage, people need the little stamps.
Yeah.
When they're stuck with a bunch of the old ones.
Yeah, I guess.
That's terrific! Her eyes go back to the TV. I'm so proud of you, Norm. Norm murmurs, I love you, Margie. I love you, Norm. Both of them are watching the TV as Norm reaches out to rest a hand on top of her stomach. 2 more months. Marge absently rests her own hand on top of his. 2 more months. We hold, and then fade out. The end. And that wraps it up. Another movie reading in the books. If you made it to the end, leave a comment below to let me know. I love hearing when you guys like these and you finish them. And please leave a comment with another movie that you would like to hear in the near future. I will see you guys in the next video.